Hey guys, it's Robin, your Math Praxis bestie. Today I'm going to talk to you about using your TI-84 calculator on your middle school Praxis math test. So in order to practice using the calculator, you can go to this website right here, sagecalc.com, and then you're going to follow this link, testnav.com. I believe that it will take you straight there, and then once it loads, you will go to the start button, start again, and this is loading. Sorry, you're going to come to the top here. This gives you your choices between your calculators. So here is a Praxis TI-84 Plus calculator. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to go to this problem. How many real zeros does the function f of x equals x squared plus 3 have? And we are going to plug that into our calculator. So I'm going to jump back to my calculator. I'm going to the y equals, and then I'm plugging in everything to the right of my equal sign. So x squared plus 3, and I'm going to graph that. As you can see, here's my graph. I can zoom in and out of there if I want to. Zoom, I can zoom in again. That did not help me, so I'm going to zoom out. Again, if I wanted to zoom in on my graph, I'm just going to use the arrow keys and go up. We don't really need the zoom feature for this question in particular, because if you look at the question, it says how many real zeros does the function have? Well, that would be your x-intercepts where the graph crosses the x-axis, and there are none. So your answer would be 0. So the main purpose is just showing you how to plug in the equations into the calculator and working your TI-84, especially for the graphs and your domain and range questions. The next question that we're going to look at is, when is x squared minus x minus 12 increasing? So this is another really great problem. So again, I'm just going to hit my y equals. I'm going to go to x squared minus x minus 12, and I'm going to hit graph. And if you look here, I'm going to zoom in and enter. I'm going to go all the way down because I want to see where it's increasing. So I'm going to go back to my zoom in. Again, just zoom arrow down and enter. So there it's giving me a little bit more of a zoom feature. I'm going to zoom in again. I should have done that more. Again, just hitting zoom. So actually I'm going to zoom out. I'm just really doing this just to show you that you can just hit zoom out. So here we go. This is exactly where I want to see. So my answers are, or my question's asking where it's increasing. So I'm going to go to the trace feature, and this is going to follow along the line of my function so that I can physically see where I'm at on my graph. And the question asks, when is it increasing? So if I go back to my choices, I have x is greater than 1/2, x is less than 1/2, x is greater than -3, and x is less than 4. So we would choose that A as our answer, and we could see that, and I forgot to highlight the one above too, which would have been the 0. The x is greater than 1/2, and I can see that because if I look at my x values here, you can see that it is 0.53, which is greater than 1/2, and right there is pretty much like my vertex. But if I'm going to where it's increasing, it's definitely going to be x is greater than 1/2. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. And I also wanted to show you that you can also graph systems of inequalities. So for example, if I have a system y is less than negative 2x plus 3, I can arrow over to this blinking box and slash, and I'm just going to hit enter. And it's blue, that's fine. My line, I want it to shade, and it's less than. So I'm going to have the dotted line, and I'm going to shade below it, and I'm going to hit OK. You can't really see the dash line there, but my next inequality is y is greater than or equal to 3x minus 1. Again, I'm going to come over here. I'm going to hit enter. My line is red, that's fine. I'm going to arrow down, and I'm going to make it greater than. I'm going to arrow back down and hit OK, and then I'm going to graph that. And of course I had minus instead of negative. So I'm glad that actually happened, because I can see that I hit minus instead of the negative down there. So if you just notice how I said go to, it would tell me where my mistake was. So if you notice this, it doesn't look the best. So we want to go back to zoom. Standard will take me back to my regular graph, and you can see where the overlap is. So any choice that's in the shaded region of the two overlaps would be an answer to your system of inequalities. So thank you for joining me on a quick tutorial for your Praxis Middle School Math test, and I will be back with more tips and tricks. Thanks, guys. Have a good day.